Hello and welcome to my video of my flight to visit the Matterhorn, which is the triangular shaped mountain dead ahead that you will have seen on various chocolate packets, on films, on whenever you see Switzerland advertised, you see the Matterhorn, probably the most famous mountain, the Matterhorn, 4,400 meters high. And I am flying very high today at 12,000 feet at the moment. About 12,064 was my top out, according to Sky Demon, which I always fly with. It also marks the border between Switzerland and Italy. One side is Swiss, the other side is Italian. On the left of the mountain, you can see the Monte Rosa Plateau, and that literally is the border. So at the bottom of, in the valley below is Zermatt for Switzerland, and in the other valley, the Italian valley, is Cervinia, and you can actually ski from Zermatt to Cervinia using the lift system on a nice sunny day. And now we're looking down this wonderful mountain range and glacier, which marks really the border with Italy. So I decided to top out at 12,000 feet today because of the risks of hypoxia. I was starting to get the odd sensation, so 12,000 feet seemed to be good. I topped out at 12,064 feet, which is high enough, to be honest. The gyro would have gone higher, but I think I wouldn't have. I live at a height of 4,500 feet, so I probably am acclimatized, but it's safer not to take those risks, so I didn't. So now I'm flying down the valley, which is covered in cloud, which leads up to Zermatt from Visp. And as we can see, it's pretty cloudy down there. I'm just doing a 360 to the left, just to have a look at this rather nice glacier on the left. We're going to go round. We're now facing south again towards the Matterhorn, which you can see in the distance, and going round once more to head back down to this valley. I flew this flight on Saturday morning, the 18th, I think, of June, Saturday. And it was pretty early in the morning. I took off at 8 o'clock. And the total flight time was about an hour and a half. I've cut the video. I've got video of it all, but I've cut the video to around 12 minutes to take the whole flight in for you and to show you a few interesting things. I'm just going to take a left turn here to look at this glacier. It's an amazing glacier here. And despite global warming, we still have glaciers in Switzerland, thankfully. And there you see one. And this valley that I'm flying down, as I say, goes from Zermatt at the foot of the Matterhorn all the way down to Visp. And there is a hole in the clouds, and I can see down through the valley, and we're going to head into that cloud maintaining. And we're going to fly through this gap in the clouds, maintaining VFR rules so we can see the ground. I'm going to perform an auto-rotation to try and reduce height, and we can just see that now. I've pulled the nose up, reduced power, and we're traveling at about 20 miles an hour in the gyro, just to reduce speed a bit. Like to keep a bit of forward momentum, just so the gyro doesn't start moving around left or right, usually to the right. But if we maintain a little forward speed, we can do a nice auto-rotation and sync. Now I've increased power a bit, and heading down through the valley, which will eventually come out, as I said, at Visp. Visp is a big railway junction town, and you can take a train here through the mountains up towards Zurich, Bern and Zurich. They built this amazing tunnel called the Basis Tunnel about 5 or 6 years ago. It took them actually a long time to build it, but they finished it 5 or 6 years ago, and that means we can get fast trains up to Zurich. You can see there's some quite nice mountain villages on the sides of the mountains here, quite high. And as we can see, just going through a few wisps of cloud, but basically there's a nice big hole here for us to sink down into the valley. And now you can see Visp just coming into view, and there we're going to make a left turn into the big valley, which is the main part of Valais. I'm not going to confuse you. Valais is spelled V-A-L-A-I-S, and it's one of the cantons, or I suppose you could translate that to states of Switzerland. And it's geographically one of the biggest ones. And we've now come from 12,000 feet down to around 1,600 feet here. So a nice descent. Had to clear my ears a couple of times and have a quick look right, make sure no one's coming, and we are then going to turn left down the valley towards the towns of Sierre, and then on to Sion, where I came from and where I'm going to land again. The valley is actually the Rhone Valley. You can see it on the left there, big river. The Rhone is one of the longest rivers in Europe. It rises behind me in the mountains and runs through Lake Geneva all the way to Lyon and then Marseille and out into the Mediterranean. The town we're just flying over is called Sierre, and you can see this river runs all the way through. During the winter, or just in the spring, when the snow melts, there is a sort of raging torrent of river. And now we are going to make preparations to land. I'm looking for the reporting points on my iPad. There are various reporting points. Sion is a Class D controlled airfield, and here we are. We've arrived at Sion. You can see the highway underneath us as well, which runs through Sion, and we are going to do a landing at Sion. So we fly right over the town and land on a very, very long runway. The runway is 2.2 kilometers, 2,200 meters, or something like 2,500 yards, 7,500 feet long runway. Originally built for the Swiss Air Force, and occasionally we still get visits from Swiss fighters coming to land. Very, very loud indeed. But we get a lot of executive jets fly in to Sion, and you get the big global expresses come and visit. We get helicopters, all sorts of planes and aviation. It's quite a busy little airport. Occasional regular flight, Swiss fly in the winter from Sion to London, Heathrow. And so we're now, the big marker there is a swimming pool, which is pretty much dead in line with the runway. You can just see the runway coming into view now, and obviously making a gradual descent. And we're going to land. And the reason, by the way, that you aren't hearing me talk to the controllers is because, unfortunately, this morning when I connected up, I forgot, I didn't quite connect with my GoPro, and there is no sound, which is why I'm doing a voiceover on this video now for you. Coming for the last few hundred meters into the runway, and it's a very wide runway indeed. There's also a grass runway, but they tend to prefer us to use the concrete one. And I thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. 12,000 feet to here we are at 1,582 feet in what was an hour and a half, but we've managed to make into about an 11-minute video for you. Shame you can't hear the controllers, but they're all very nice here, unbelievably helpful, and they make life extremely easy for us. Goodbye.